Hello everyone, welcome to the Amrita IAS monthly current affairs series, and we are starting with the second session in the governance of the June month. So some schemes initiative we'll see today, starting with the MSP for MFP scheme, that is MSP for minor forest produce. Minor forest produce are associated with the tribal population, right? So this scheme is old, Ministry of Tribal Affairs in 2013. Recently in the PIB they have mentioned that they have added some new things into this scheme. So MSP would be determined by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs with the technical help of the TriFed. So TriFed is a very important institution we have discussed. Already we have discussed, which comes up with many of the initiatives related to the tribals. So it's a centrally sponsored scheme, that's what you need to remember. And the idea obviously is to ensure the fair and the remunerative price to the minor forest produce gatherers and provides direct benefit to the tribals. So what they have done, they have included 23 additional minor forest produce. So 14 of them are specific to the northeastern state and remaining 9 of them are available throughout the India. So remember, some of the MFP are applicable only to the northeastern states and some of them to the all over the India. For example, some of what these minor forest produce are. So for example, one tulsi seeds. So tulsi, right, betel nut, raw and dry, mushrooms dry, black rice, and many of those. Okay, many of them go on to become also the GI tags of a particular place as well, if they have any additional quality. Then we have the ADPI scheme. ADPI scheme, that is assistance to the disabled person for purchasing / fitting of the aids and appliances scheme. Okay, so the idea is that so that not the disabled, it should be differently abled, because the government has also changed the terminology of the words, right? Divyangjan in Hindi, in English Hindi both, but not disabled but differently abled. Or now the government says especially abled, so different terminologies are there. So the objective of the scheme is to assist the needy disabled person procuring the standard aids and appliances. Initiative of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and implemented through agencies such as NGO, National Institute under this ministry, and PSUs. Not very important. Okay, for our exams, not very important schemes. MFP scheme is important. Then we have Skill Build Reignite and Skill Build Innovation Camps. So it's a partnership between the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and IBM. Okay. So this seeks to provide the basically job seekers and entrepreneurs with access to the online coursework and mentoring support. So basically you can see it is a kind of an upskilling platform as well, an upskilling opportunity, addressing the current skill gap in the country. Okay, 10-week duration camp will be provided by the IBM. Okay, so some sort of international exposure or the current what are skills being required in the current market. So these things will be provided. Next is SPARC, SPARC, that is scheme for the promotion of academics and research collaboration. Okay, so under this program from IIT Madras, collaborations are being done with the Germany, and under this what exactly collaborations are going on finding the green energy solutions. Okay, and especially with respect to the hydrogen, because now we are thinking of the hydrogen based economy. Okay, so hydrogen based economy becomes important for our mains exam also, because in the main exam, if you have seen in the science and tech especially, the questions at very next frontier are being asked. For example, last year we were only thinking about International Space Station, to put up our own International Space Station. Concretely what talks were going on for Chandrayaan 2. But what question UPSC asked? UPSC asked the question way ahead of its time, that is International Space Station. So UPSC can ask questions which are just at the very idea level. On those lines also they can ask questions. So hydrogen based economy becomes important topic for our main exam. Okay, so it's an initiative of the MHRD. So it's not an initiative of the Ministry of Science and Tech. It is a Ministry of the Education now. Ministry of Human Resource Development, now Ministry of Education. So what will be they collaborating, because the conventional methods of having this hydrogen have some issues. So So basically how to deal with the conventional method, how to improve the conventional method, and also how to come up with the new methods to use this hydrogen as a fuel more sustainably. Okay. So Spark is a scheme for promotion of academic research and collaboration. So this is basically umbrella under which different topics and collaborations are being done. Okay. Varied academic collaborations, inter-country within our institutes, more importantly outside country, to get into the foreign collaborations as well. Then navigating a new normal campaign. This campaign is being led by the Niti Aayog with the partnership with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Center for Social and Behavioral Change, Ashoka University, Ministry of Health and Women and Child Development. So not very important, just remember Niti Aayog and Bill and some other institutes, including the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So basically what is the idea? Idea is to have focus on the COVID safe behavior, especially during the unlock. So basically it is, you can say, a behavioral awareness week or behavioral setting up the habits, right? So how should we cultivate these habits for sustainably? So behavior such as wearing the masks all the time when you go outside especially, right? How to maintain the social distancing, how to act in the situation when you can see that some situation social distancing is not being followed, right? In that scenario. So the Niti Aayog launches the behavioral change campaign, that is navigating the new normal. Next is Sahakar Mitra scheme. Sahakar 22, one question we will discuss. I should not disclose the question, but Sahakar 22 is basically an initiative by the NCDC, that is National Cooperative Development Council, to boost the rural prosperity and the farm incomes. In that regard also, Sahakar Mitra scheme. So basically it's launched by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, okay, by the initiative by the NCDC for the young professional. And the idea is to, Mitra means the professional should help the cooperative. Cooperative needs the help of the professional to modernize themselves, to cater to their markets more professionally, reform their own working styles more professionally, using some new and innovative ideas to improve their economy of scale, to improve their efficiency and these ideas. And from where they will get these ideas? From the Mitras, that is the professionals. Okay. Then they'll become self-reliant and everyone will be self-reliant. And the interns will also gain the experience of working in the field to be self-reliant. Next is Kumbhkar Sashakti-karan Yojana, that is the empowerment scheme of the Kumbhkars, those who are doing the potters. So initiative of the KVIC, Khadi and Village Industries Commission, KVIC, for the empowerment of the pottery community in the remotest of the location in the country, right? So it provides training to the advanced pottery products, latest new technology equipment such as electrical chalk, market linkages, visibility through KVIC exhibition. All these things will be provided by the KYC. Okay. So that is Kumbhkar Sashakti-karan Yojana. Remember, it is the KVIC which is doing it. Next is Swadesh Initiative. Swadesh Initiative. So Swadesh Initiative is basically skilled worker arrival database for employment support. Skilled workers arrival database for employment support. So basically those who are coming from outside, their skills will be mapped, the database will be created, and if there is a demand of such an skill both in India and in the foreign, they will be reached out. Okay. So as the people coming from outside are involved, so hence the Ministry of External Affairs is also involved. Ministry of Civil Aviation is also involved. Ministry of Skill Development, Ministry of Civil Aviation and Ministry of External Affairs are involved. The collected information will be shared with the companies for placement opportunities, right? And it will be supported by the NCDC, that is National Skill Development Corporation. Then we have Nagar One scheme. Nagar One scheme, from the name itself, Nagar One means urban forestry. So scheme for the urban forestry implemented by the MOEFCC. So recently the Union government has announced that on the occasion of the National World Environment Day, on the 5th of June, they have announced to develop 200 urban forests across the country in the next 5 months. Okay. So in the Maharashtra, Varje Urban Forest in Pune will be considered as the role model for the scheme. Okay. So urban forest scheme to develop 200 Nagar Vans across the country. This Vare J should be silent. Urban forest in Pune can be a good case study to write also for our main exam. Okay, it's a good case study how the forest or the forest effort, afforestation effort should take place. You can write this case study while discussing for SDGs. You can write this case study for any climate change or something like that, right? So earlier at this place, there were a barren hill and they converted into a green forest. Now a lot of wildlife can be seen, rich in biodiversity. You can see plant species, bird species, butterfly, reptiles, mammals, all can be found here. Okay, so it can be a role model for the rest of the country, as the environmental minister also says. Lastly, and not it's not very important, that is urban Khelo India Center for Excellence. Khelo India we have already discussed in detail. In fact, we have discussed so many schemes. That is why the governance sessions are relatively small in quantity. Because of the questions, the length of the videos have increased, but the session itself have become shortened up. So the Sport Ministry will establish the Khelo India National Program for Development of Sports Scheme with the help of the Viability Gap funding, right? So the idea is basically setting up these centers of excellence. What the center of excellence will be, they will be part of our pursuit to Olympics. They will be provided some sort of annual grant, right? Depending upon their performance as well. Okay. So that is the end of the session, and let us quickly see the questions. So starting with the first question, consider the following statements. Rozgar Setu scheme was launched by the Madhya Pradesh government to secure employment for the skilled workers who have returned from the various part of the country. Second part, Charan Paduka campaign was launched by the Rajasthan under which the migrant workers are provided with the shoes and slippers. Which of the options are right? Okay, I hope you have marked the answer. So first scheme, that is Rozgar Setu scheme. We have discussed that Rozgar Setu scheme is being MP became one of the first states to launch such a scheme for the people who have lost their job and still searching for employment, right? Many people have come back to the MP from their destination states. So to help secure employment for the skilled worker, those who have returned, for the skilled worker. Okay, so such worker will be identified. Government will contact the factory, the workshop owners, the contractor for the roads and the bridge construction, and they can be employed there. So it's an MP government initiative. Next initiative is also an MP government initiative, that is Charan Paduka campaign. So basically we have seen in fact the police of the MP. So we have seen that many people who are on this huge run from their home, from their state where they are working to the state where they wanted to go, and many of them were barefooted. So the idea from the MP police was to provide them the support during this journey, and providing them slippers, the pain of the migrant can be reduced. So that is Charan Paduka. Charan Paduka is basically the slippers campaign. So both the initiatives are of the MP government. So first statement is right, second statement is wrong. It is not a Rajasthan government initiative, it is an MP government initiative. Okay. Next is, which of the following schemes was launched by the UGC to strengthen the research culture and innovation in the college and the university to boost the research culture in India? Okay, please see this options. It's a good question. All the schemes mentioned are important with the exception of Stand Up India, because that's an old scheme, not a very new scheme. Okay, let us see the answer. So we will see the three schemes. Stand Up India, everybody knows. Stand Up India is basically for the entrepreneurship. Stand Up India, Startup India. Stand Up India is for the SC and ST and for the women. So it is a component of the Startup India only, right? Okay. So what about this STRIDE scheme? So STRIDE scheme is the UGC's scheme. So UGC has approved the STRIDE scheme to strengthen the research culture and innovation in the college and the universities. A very good line was there. When I was discussing it, I also told you socially relevant, locally need-based, and nationally important and globally significant. Very good lines, right? So components of it, identify the motivated young talent. Secondly, encourage collaboration. And thirdly, funding of the highly impactful research project. Okay, so that's a STRIDE from the UGC. Then EQUIP project is we have from MHRD EQUIP project, quality education quality upgradation and inclusion program, to bring the transformational change in the higher education, to bridge the gap between policy and the implementation. So this is the EQUIP program. It's a basically umbrella program. You can see 5-year vision is there for the EQUIP program, and that is why it was also very important for our exams. Okay, right. Then we have the Vigyan Jyoti scheme that was launched on the National Science Day, 28 February. So Department of Science and Technology to create a level playing field for the meritorious girls in the high school to pursue STEM, that is science, technology, engineering and mathematics in their higher education. It offers exposure for the girls student from the rural background. Okay. So National Science Day brings gender equality in the science. The president has announced this particular initiative. So, which will the answer? Answer will be STRIDE. That is the UGC's scheme for the strengthening the research culture in the India. Okay? Right. Let us see the next question. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare have launched the SANS campaign for awareness of the SANS campaign for the awareness, social awareness and action to neutralize which of the following disease? Tuberculosis, COVID-19, pneumonia and diarrhea. It's a good question because intuitively our mind can say, okay, COVID-19, everything is going on, that it should be COVID-19, or counterintuitively it can also eliminate COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19 is going on, why the government will ask question on it? It's so obvious. So you can eliminate COVID-19. So both of the time it can get dicey, right? So I hope you have marked the answer. So answer is SANS campaign. We have discussed that also. So it's a social awareness and action to neutralize the pneumonia successfully. Okay, you must be knowing that in the COVID-19 we are also getting the pneumonia like symptoms, so that is also there, right? So SANS campaign is for the awareness for the pneumonia. Next we have very important question that is related to Atal Bhujal Yojana. So first option is it's a central sector scheme for 5 years from 2015-16 to 2020-21. First option. Second, 100% loans for this scheme is provided by the World Bank. Third, it aims to improve the water management in the priority in the country through community participation. Okay, and more importantly, you have to find out which is not correct, because in UPSC they have highlighted not correct. That is why I am also highlighting that you have to find out which are the options which are not correct. Okay, let us see the answer. So Atal Bhujal we have discussed in detail. So the idea is that it will be a central sector scheme. That's fine. It's a central sector scheme. Okay. And it is for 5 years, but 5 years from 2020-21 to 2025, not the other way around, not from 2015. Okay. And 6,000 crore outlay has been given. 50% loan from the World Bank will be given. So even you apply the common sense here. So it's a central sector scheme for 5 years from 2015. Why it will be from 2015 if it is currently announced? So that is wrong itself. So first is wrong statement. If first is wrong, then the second cannot be there. Then we have to check whether 2 or 3 which is wrong or right. Then it aims to improve the groundwater management in the priority areas through community participation. Yes, obviously community participation must be there. It cannot be wrong. So third statement will always be right. Then you eliminate 1 and 3. And finally option 1 and 2 only remains, right? And this is all about the problem solving techniques I am talking about, right? So please take care of it. So Atal Bhujal Yojana launched in 7 states where the groundwater exploitation is there. Remember, it's a very important scheme of the government, Atal Bhujal Yojana. Okay, everything related to Atal is very important. So 7 states, Rajasthan, Haryana, UP, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Gujarat. Okay. So funding we have seen. So answer is third option is right only. Both 1 and 2 are wrong, and according to that option A becomes right. Next, the last question, that is Kosi Mechi River interlinking project was recently announced. Consider the following statements. It is country's first major interlinking project to divert the surplus water from Kosi to Mahananda. First. Second, Mechi is an important tributary of the Mahananda river. There should be gap, Mahananda river. It's a green project with little acquisition of the forest land. Interesting. Fourth, the Kosi river is an international river originating from Tibet and flows through Nepal and the plains of the North Bihar. Please also see the question and try to answer it. Okay, so it's a good question. In fact, this can come in the examination. Now, first of all, you need to know that it is not the first program. In fact, that is asked in the previous year. So, first one is the Ken Betwa link. So, Ken River, Ken and Betwa link, Ken River here, and Betwa link is there. This Ken and Betwa both are being the tributary of the Yamuna River. We have discussed this area, Chambal area, if you remember, right? Then we have discussed this area as the Mewar area. So, a lot of locations we have covered. In fact, if you prepared current affair from any source, but please also see the locations, because I know I have covered it very comprehensively, right? So this is our first river linking project, right? So this is the first river linking project that is gone. So first statement is wrong. Then let us see the second part. So Kosi and Mechi. Kosi River is coming from, you can see, from Tibet to Nepal to India. So it's a transnational river, Kosi River. Okay, first thing is done. Then Kosi and Mechi, this is the river interlinking project we are talking about. Okay, so from Kosi the river will go to the Mechi. Mechi is the tributary of the Mahaganga river. Okay, let us see, let us come back to here. So it is country's first major interlinking project to divert the first of all, it is not the first. So statement 1 becomes wrong. Statement 1 becomes wrong, then this becomes wrong, this becomes wrong, and this becomes wrong. So even if you don't know anything about Kosi Mechi, you just know about Ken and Betwa link, you will get the question right. Option is B, isn't it? So this is where, even if you don't know about, you have not heard about Kosi River, you have not heard about Mechi River, but just you know that the first interlinking project was Ken Betwa link, you are able to solve this question, isn't it? And this is the beauty of the prelims paper, that you have to be relatively more smart to deal with the questions. Now let us see this basically in this map. So this is the Kochi River coming from up. This is the Kochi River. This is the Mahananda River. This is totally coming in India. So Mahananda River is in India only. Okay, remember that. Then it reaches and meet Ganga. And this Mechi River meets Mahananda. So Mechi is the tributary of Mahananda. Kochi coming from outside, that finally it meets the Ganga. Kosi meets the Ganga. Okay. And this Mahananda meets Ganga somewhere in West Bengal, or sometimes in the Bangladesh also sometimes. Okay. So remember, see in this West Bengal map, you will understand it. Otherwise, in this map, you are not able to understand these things. Okay. So let us see few points. So interlinking envisage the diversion of the part of surplus of the Kosi to the Mahananda. Mechi is a tributary of the Mahananda. It's a green project. More importantly, it's a green project. It involves no displacement of the population, no acquisition of the forest land. Interesting and very important. Okay. So I think this will serve our purpose. So it is not the first interlinking project. It is Ken Betwa. It is a tributary of Mahananda, which itself is a river which is completely in India. It's a green project. Okay. It's a green project. Okay. And then river acquisition has to be taken place, right? It's a green project, and the river Kosi is an international river originating from Tibet and flows through Nepal and the plains of the Bihar. I think the framing of this question is relatively wrong. It's something is wrong here, but I hope you got the point. It is a green project, right? So remember that it is a green project. Okay, with this we finish question. You got the idea basically. We are not here discussing the UPSC questions, so I have to focus on each and every option. But you got the idea where the Kosi and the Mechi rivers are, what is their link, what is the map behind the situation from Kosi to Mahananda it is going. And this is all we need to focus. So that's the end of the session. Let us quickly revise what we have done. We started discussion on the MSP for MFP scheme. Centrally sponsored scheme. We have discussed the few in the Northeast and a majority in the all India level. Then assistance to the disabled people, providing them aids and appliances. Then skills build reignite camp will be provided by the IBM with the help of the Ministry of the Skills and Entrepreneurship, Skill Development Entrepreneurship. Then Spark, where we go for the international collaboration for some research purposes. Then navigating the new normal, Niti Aayog is coming up with Bill and Melinda Gates and other institutions to create an awareness campaign, habits, something like that. Then Sahakar Mitra, NCDC's campaign. Then Kumbhakar Sashakti-Karan Yojana, that is for the pottery empowerment of the pottery community. Then Swadesh initiative, right? Swadesh initiative, those were coming from outside, so skill mapping of them and creation of the database. Then Nagar 1 scheme, that is for urban forestry. Khelo India, Center for Excellence, and then we discussed the 5 questions. First question was Rozgar Setu and Charan Paduka campaign. Second one is for UGC's schemes such as Stride. Other schemes, Equip and Vigyan Jyoti, are also very important. Then we discussed SARS campaign that is related to pneumonia, and finally Atal Bhujal Yojana, and we have discussed Kochi Mechi River Interlinking Project. With this, we finish our June part 2, and part 2 and then 3 will be done. Then we'll discuss the July month. So with this, we finish our session, and see you in the next class, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye for now.